Hello and welcome to Visions of Streator. I'm Will York with Marjorie Haynes, and we will be talking with Streator City Manager David Plyman.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Plyman.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
So before we get started, many of our viewers are happy to see several road projects that have recently been completed or in the process of being completed in Streator. Great job, Mr. Plyman.
Well, I think we have to give credit to Jeremy Palmer, city engineer, for designing and overseeing the construction of our street projects and our sewer projects. He does a fabulous job here.
And I will have to say, we walked the park the morning after the food truck festival, and there was very little leftovers and
Yeah,
stuff. It was a really good job.
Yeah, I think our public works department and the people organizing the event did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, for as many people that was there, I heard it was very busy. So that was great to see. It's great to see Street Mysteries out in the community trying to spread positivity and awareness about Streator.
Well, that is good. I've seen some of their postings on Facebook. I try to hit Facebook every once in a while, more as a visitor. I don't really post much online personally, but just to see what's happening out in the community, what the comments are. And I've noticed that they've made a number of postings, and it seems to me they're having fun doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're sneaky.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you the story. One day, one of their cards mysteriously, one of the visit cards, appeared.
Really?
And I have been racking my brain
How they did
since
it?
then. Who was it who left that card? Because not a clue.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty fun project that they're working on.
Yeah, they're having a good time, and it's good seeing, something nice, fun, a little bit of history, that type of thing.
Very good.
Yeah, even though there's a lot of positive going on in Streator, sometimes we need to talk about some of the not so positive things. Let's talk a little bit about the crime in Streator, specifically the Easter Day gun shooting on Main Street. Has the alleged offender been apprehended?
The state's attorney there has been an arrest warrant issued through the state's attorney's office, and the offender is currently, we're trying to catch him. The U.S. Marshals have been notified. He's no longer in Streator, to the best of our knowledge. Our department attempted to apprehend him in downstate Illinois, and obviously that they were not successful, but he'll get caught.
Yeah, there was a community meeting about crime in Streator. Can you talk about the meeting and what the meeting accomplished?
Well, the purpose of the meeting was to just give us an opportunity as city officials in the state's attorney's office and the police department to give kind of a status report on what we're doing, the nature of the crime that's been occurring. We've tried over the past couple of years to be very transparent so that everyone in the community that wants to be involved in this issue is fully aware of the sorts of crime occurring and the nature of the crime and the offenders and so on. We've had some serious violence, murders. The violence has been targeted essentially between two different groups, and it's not a generalized crime wave that's occurring. The police department's on it, but it's near impossible to prevent the sort of evil that's been occurring in our town, because we obviously aren't getting notified before the shootings. They're targeted, and it's very unfortunate. There's aspects of the crime that I'm not at liberty to discuss, And there's even aspects that I'm simply haven't been informed by the police department. It's a need to know in terms of the actual investigations.
Right.
But I'm very confident that our department has the capability to address these issues, and that before long we'll be back kind of to the normal Streator, if you will. Any community is going to have crime, violence, murders, even remote. You know, I worked in 2 different smaller cities in Iowa, for example, and we had our occasional murders and issues. We lost 2 firefighters in an arson fire a few months before I started in one of my cities. So terrible things happen everywhere, and they're happening now here in Streator, and they are being addressed.
Okay, in your opinion, Mr. Plyman, you think that most of Streator's crime is drug related?
Oh, it's definitely drug related. The social service agencies serving Streator had a meeting at OSF Center for Health here in Streator a couple of weeks ago, and I posed the question, you know, to what extent is drug abuse a factor in family breakdowns, family issues, and homelessness? And I think the response I get was somewhere, you know, 2/3, 3/4 of it's drug abuse is just vicious in the way it destroys people's lives and their families, and then it creates a demand for drug dealers to come to town to conduct illegal businesses, and that ultimately, because they're fighting over turf, creates potential for violence, which we're now seeing.
So what message do you want to send to people that are coming to Streator to buy illegal drugs?
Well, anyone, whether or not you're coming to Streator or you're already in Streator as a resident buying illegal drugs, it's not good for you, it's not good for your families, and it's destroying your lives. You won't be able to have a full and enriched life if you're engaged in that behavior. And I would recommend that you seek treatment and overcome that problem. And eventually, if you don't, you'll get caught and you'll be part of the criminal justice system.
Now, the Streator Police Department is doing an outstanding job, I think, and I think everybody else agrees, but they can use more help, and residents want drug dealing shut down in Streator. Are we asking our state and federal partners for assistance in any way?
Well, we do get assistance from both Livingston and LaSalle County Sheriff's Department and the state police. In fact, we had a instance of violence, I think on a Saturday, but that Thursday night there was a wolf pack of outside agencies conducting traffic stops, in large part trying to identify people that were driving under the influence or had drugs in their vehicles. And so even preemptive enforcement doesn't always prevent violence.
Right.
But we are getting support from other agencies. There may be opportunities for us to, within the next year, to apply for grants. I understand the federal government's looking at another round of grants that help fund hiring new police officers.
So we've had the question, can firefighters be deputized on their sleep shifts to give the Streator Police Department some extra crime fighting help?
Well, I mean, anything's possible. There are departments that, even in Illinois, I think Northfield, Illinois is one, that have trained police officers to be firefighters and firefighters to be police officers and so on. They're really 2 distinct professional, professions, if you will, with 2 distinct training methods, and so a lot of time and effort would have to be spent, in money, in training and equipping firefighters be police officers and vice versa. It would be something that we would have to negotiate with the unions. And as we pull firefighters into law enforcement, then we have fewer firefighters to actually fight fires, which is not good. So it's really pick your poison situation. You know, where do you want to have your risks?
Mm-hmm.
The responsibilities of the fire department is, you know, significant in its own right. So I don't think we want to reduce that capability. In fact, just last week the mayor and I attended an award ceremony in Springfield where the state honored a number of our firefighters in rescuing someone, saved someone's life in a fire, and it was quite a prestigious honor. You know, it's amazing what they accomplished that evening.
Mm-hmm. We're almost out of time here. Let's talk a little bit about the Streator economy and what's going to happen to the Owens facility. Is there any new news about that?
Well, Owens is a big company, and it's sometimes difficult to know exactly what their plans are for the facility. They're not always, or they haven't been historically, all that forthcoming with that information to the city. The city does not own the Owens facility. It's privately held by a company. We understand currently Owens is storing equipment in the building, although they're not producing any bottles. They are using the facility. They haven't made any effort that I am aware of to sell any parts of the facility. We have extended our support to the company to help market the facility to try to find new users for it, but I haven't really seen any activity in the past couple of months from Owens itself to move in that direction.
We've had this issue come up. People have been asking, what was the thinking of allowing a funeral crematory to operate in a retail setting, and how do we overcome the negative jokes that the placement of the crematory brings to our community?
Well, the reality is a lot of funeral homes today, if you drive around, have those facilities in commercial locations. You just may not be aware of it. And so the operator of this facility operated in Streator, in a neighborhood, in a commercial facility, and you may not have been aware of it, in fact. So I mean, they're just all over the place anymore. More and more families cannot afford the traditional burial, and they seek cremation. And I think it's important to have that capability to, you know, here in Streator to offer to families.
Mm-hmm.
The operators are with modern equipment in that, and they're also aware of the timing and that. So I think it'll be minimal in terms of involvement.
With timing, they do more like later night, earlier morning type
It's
thing.
not really my place to go into speak much
yeah.
about that because it's not a city operation, if you will. It's a private business. But when the ownership approached the Plan Commission for the special use permit to operate at that location, that was discussed, and that was publicly stated that they would operate at night, and that in the modern equipment,
yeah.
It's a very clean exhaust anymore. It's just steam.
The West Side Cafe is set to reopen under new owners on June 9th at Westgate Plaza. We wish you much good fortune.
Before we sign off, Mr. Plyman, would you like to add anything else?
No, I appreciate the opportunity. First to visit with you guys. You're a great group. I really enjoy these times we have together, and also to answer any questions you have and try to be as transparent as we can for Streator residents to know what's going on here at City Hall. So I appreciate the opportunity to meet with you.
Well, thank you, City Manager David Plyman, for taking the time to talk with us today.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.